To the tech desk of Russ Nicodem from SICK Incorporated. Today we're going to be talking about the safe robotics area protection. At the end of this, you'll have a video showing the demo of how the system works. Basically, a safe robotic area protection system is a combination of products from SICK put together for robotic safety. We have specific applications for UR robotics, KUKA, that are generic. We have Ethernet SIP safety, FANUC and Yaskawa. And that can also be used for other robot brands, as you'll see later. So what does it consist of? It's a laser scanner, safety controllers, and then on the right you'll see its safety functions are downloaded from the web. That gives you all your instructions, your interface, your sample programs for the software for the laser scanner and for the FlexiSoft. It's a single bundle, and it combines all these products into a quick and relatively easy system to put together for robotic safety. So what you're doing is you connect your laser scanner to your FlexiSoft, you connect your emergency stops and your resets to your FlexiSoft, and your FlexiSoft has an interface that works with your robot, and each system, there are specific systems for, say, like FANUC, either the Ethernet SIP safety, or whether it's a Yaskawa, they'll have different interfaces to interface with the robot controller. Typically, you want to have the emergency stop. The controller has emergency stop, protective stop, safety rated monitor speed, any speed reduction requirement signal built in. Most industrial robots have that these days. So what does this system do? It creates a protective field and a warning field, and the controller has built-in sequencing so that as somebody enters the warning field, the robot automatically slows down. The controller has feedback that knows that the robot is going slower, so then it reduces the protective field so that the person has more room to work around the area because it's working in a slower pace, and it can stop faster. Then when the person backs out, it automatically goes to full speed. You'll see that in the demo. So some of the benefits you get from the Sbot, Safe Robotic System, is gives you free and safe access to your robot, either industrial and or collaborative robots. Gives you a lot of flexibility. You don't need to have all the big fencing and stuff around the robot. It's future-proof. Because it's expandable. If you want to add items to it, it's a safety controller that can be expanded. So you can add more items and build your system around this, and this would be the core of your system, and then you can add to it. You get all the detailed documentation for the robot integration. It's got the program for the laser scanner, the program in the safety controller. You get your E-plan, your Systema information, your guides and operating instructions for interfacing with your specific robot. So it's a really nice kit. So that will help to reduce your integration costs, and you can rely on the logic because it's proven logic, which was created and developed by SICK. So at the heart of the system is sequencing. So once again, as a person enters the cell, the robot slows down. The robot and the controller are communicating. It knows that the robot is slowed down, so then it allows the person to get closer to the robot without stopping, and as they get closer, the robot slows down more using speed and distance as the safety function. As the person leaves the cell, the robot automatically ramps back up to full speed, allowing you to get more production, and even to get production while the person is working around the robot. That's the concept of the Sbot speed. So what would a system look like if you had Ethernet SIP safety? This is an example of a Microscan 3 with Ethernet SIP safety. That's safety over the network. It would communicate to our Ethernet module, safe module, which also would communicate to the robot. The robot, like FANUC, DCS, has Ethernet SIP safety built in, so it makes a very clean and easy and very flexible system when you're doing your safety over the network. Some of the different brands we work with: FANUC, Yaskawa, UR, ABB, KUKA, and others. And you can see on this chart, it just depends on whether you're using Core I/O or whether you're using Ethernet SIP safety. would make the difference on which bundle you would buy. So if you have a robot and you will need to put it into production and need a safety system, contact your SICK representative. I'm sure we can help. Thank you and have a good day. Welcome to the Tech Desk of Russ Nicodem from SICK Incorporated. Today we're going to be talking about an Sbot. So what is an Sbot? An Sbot is a safety robotic area protection kit. It combines a bunch of our technology into a comprehensive safety robotic kit. So it includes a safety laser scanner, safety controls, whichever controls would be applicable for your robot. You normally have the e-stop and reset buttons incorporated in. It has the program for the laser scanner, the program for the safety logic, which is specific to your robot. Now, this is called a speed because it has custom function blocks built in. So if you notice here, I have a yellow zone, which is my warning zone, which is my slow down zone. I've got a protective field 1 and I've got a protective field 2. So the idea here is that your robot can have free access to it, and the controller has built-in logic so that when a person enters the robot cell and they get into the first warning zone, it uses speed and distance separation as a safety measure. It sends a signal to your robot to slow down. You notice that your robot now is going very slow. That takes this protective field and it shrinks it because it gets feedback from the robot that says, hey, I'm slowed down. So now my person can work around the robot much closer because the robot is moving slower. If the person gets too close to the robot, it still stops. You can see that it stops and the person does his chore. And as he backs out and gets into the warning zone, the robot automatically starts back up. That's why it's called a speed. It has sequencing built in. And as he backs out further, when he exits the cell, the robot automatically goes back to full speed without the need of pressing a reset button. So you say, well, what happens if he breaks the sequence? So the person comes into the cell and he's working around and something drops and he goes into the protective zone. And if he breaks the cycle, you'll notice that my reset button comes on and the automatic restart is gone. So then when he leaves the cell, he has to physically check the cell to make sure everything is okay and push reset. So that's what the custom function block is doing. It's doing the sequencing. Once again, he allows the person to come into the cell. The robot slows down, allowing him to work around the cell. And when he gets closer, it stops. And then as he exits, it goes back to slow speed and then ultimately back to full speed, increasing your productivity. So that's at the heart of the Sbot speed. Thank you and have a good day.